gosh, dude. Alright, are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, first one, the M1 spam wins. Hey guys, Rocky here, and in today's video we're going to go over all the special maps that I've missed out in the past weeks. So, well, that's the entire video. Let's just get straight to it. Since there are so many special maps that I've, well, missed out on, I'm gonna go over all these pretty quickly, and subtitles may vary in where they appear. Before we start, I'm going to say that this is just my opinion, and most of these special maps are probably never going to be added into the main game because, well, they're gonna get wiped out on September 27th during that patch, if there is any. So yeah. Hey, Future Rocky here. The maps aren't actually going to be deleted. Something's gonna happen to them. Like, they're all gonna still exist, and you can still add special maps. They're just... I don't know, but they're not going to be deleted, so don't worry about them all disappearing. That's not going to happen. I talked to Nova, and apparently they're doing something with them, so they still exist, but not really. But yeah, don't worry about that. So anything I say about maps being deleted or gone forever, no. Anyway, continuing on. I'm just giving my opinion on how the maps work and how cool they'd be played on. Anyway, starting with Hostel, a long, narrow staying grounds turned into a combat zone by Waffle_Raya12. And it is a very cool concept of a giant, narrow way where you shoot across the other side. That's awesome. That's cool. It does have its flaws and bugs, though. For example, well, this flying box right here, and also the sides, just a bunch of rocks are covered with the decorations, which I don't think that's on purpose. So yeah, it is cool, but I'm unsure if it will be added into the main game. Moving on. The next compound we have is Keep, a castle reminiscent structure, once strong but now torn down by Suicat 1, also known as Trebo Missy. And it is cool, it is awesome how there are multiple entry routes and the two main towers where you can stand up upon and shoot down. But I do think that this rock material is kind of stand-outish compared to all the other wooden platforms or like wooden compounds. I do know that there are a few stone compounds in the game, for example Bastion, but I think this is really, like, it just really stands out too much personally, which it doesn't make it a bad map, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, that's about it. And next up we have Memoriam, a special place reserved for the crematation of their elites, now plagued by our dirty blood by another space computer. And this map's already in the game. It's already in the game. It's called Crembarium, but it's been revamped by Nova. So yeah, although the statue is pretty cool, but let's keep going. This map's already in the game technically. And next up we have Timber, an indoor large lumber mill with stocks of resources by consumer, also known as I am Yomo 81. And it has this cool saw that actually kills you if you touch it, but it's just so obnoxiously loud that, like, I can't imagine fighting on this point and trying to listen for anyone trying to reload or anything else, which I do enjoy this close to mid-range combat inside, but this saw is just way too annoying. But yeah, moving on. Next up we have Kill House, a large training environment now turned into a war zone by Nefarious Cube, or also known as Nerf Cube. And it is pretty cool. I do like the large scale of this map, and also look at all these cool, like, dummies. Though, of course, these do look really silly. Like, this just looks unnerving. Like, I don't know why. And it is kind of unpolished, because, like, look at these bullets right here. They're just, like... It just looks weird, and it's just... Some of the stuff is, like, flying. And also, like, the ground and the carpet. Like, why don't you just make this a full carpet right here? Why is there, like, a wooden part there? Or, like, this part right here, too? Like, just have the whole floor be carpet. Yeah, that's really about it. It's a cool map. But anyway, moving on. Before we move on, I must say that this section looks hella cool in this corner of Kill House, because it has a bunch of guns stacked here, and, like, obviously the trainer would be here and, like, make a report here as they're observing you going through the Kill House. That's super cool. That's awesome. But unfortunately, you can't have this in any of the special maps because that breaks the rules of the compounds. And, well, I just wanted to mention it, but yeah, moving on. The next map we have is Gasworks, an industrial indoor gas factory where even the rats dare not wander, by B_Downey. And this map is sick. I really like it because it's simple. Look, it's just a bunch of gas tanks and pipes. And of course you have your cool detailed area in this corner here, like a bunch of these flask cages and even old school gas mask and these cool posters. Like, this is awesome. And of course there's this little, like, office area as a kind of vantage point, which is, it's cool. It's a very simple map because it's just you fight in here, but there's a lot of ways to enter with the 2 doors on each side, but also the many tiny doors on each side and the windows you can shoot from behind or outside, which is just cool. It's awesome. And the roof section too, where you can enter sneakery. So yeah, awesome map. I really do like this. And well, I'm not sure if it's going to be added because, you know, the Great Map Reckoning. But anyway, moving on. Next up, we have Salt House, a facility for the storage and production of salt by Stellar, also known as Kyo Sur. And it's a very basic, simple map, which is probably why it'd be added. But I don't think it's going to be added because of how memeable this white substance is. Like, you can name this anything, and it'd probably just get memed to death, which is probably not going to be added. Anyway, moving on. And next up, we have Pit, an old abandoned mine shaft leading to who knows where, by Ryder, also known as Boring Brandon 2007. And well, it's just kind of like a meme compound, because like look all the way down to like, God, where does that even lead to? So it's probably not gonna be added to the game, though. It's very cool. It's like the opposite of that one random map, which is silly. Anyway, moving on. Next map we have is Shatter, a fully destructible version of Barracks by Nova. And well, as said, it's just all grass, which you can just shoot this entire place and it all break down. Which is just, it's more of a meme map than anything, which is silly, and that's it. Moving on. That was every map that was added in the special maps / map changes of version 1.9. But there are also special map updates, which we'll go over right now. Those are: Disaster has been renamed to Truck to avoid confusion with the naming scheme. Trainyard has been revamped or updated to version 2 with many changes to the layout. Speed has been fixed to allow for players to capture inside the zone and for the walls to be carved away. Nova testing has been updated with extra planes and features. Ranch has now been fortified with sandbags and palisades. Estate's wood grain has been fixed. Fort's capturing radius was lowered, but you can still go up. Sabath has been given more cover and sandbags. Sawmill's logs grain has been fixed, and lastly, Purity metal coloring has been unified. Anyway, let's go over to version 1.9.1 special maps changes. There were only 3 new special maps that were added in this version. Those being, well, the first one is Canning, a canning facility for goods and non-perishables by Rura Programming, also known as RuGamer011. And I must say, I really like how aesthetically pleasing this map is. Look at this lighting, bro. This is much different than any other lighting we've seen, besides maybe being similar to Transmission, I think, but I really do like this map. So yeah, I like it. It looks cool, and it is very simple. Just a 4-way and a dead zone in the center. Moving on. Next map we have is Hole, a munitions storage facility once created, now to fight for by Cats Games TT2. And it is a very cool map because, you know, it's just mostly a building that you enter and clear. But like, mining doesn't contribute anything to gameplay because you have to enter indoors to capture, and anything outside barely contributes. And you might say, what about warehouse? Isn't that the same thing? Well, with warehouse, there are a bunch of windows where you can jump and enter, which means mining is important. So yeah, that's why I don't really like this map. Also, this is this giant comedic. This band is just outside of the zone, and just random details unnecessary. So yeah, moving on. And the next map we have is Packaging, an industrial center for packaging elite kits by Joji and Vazi. And speaking about elite kits, of course this is one that spawns right here, because oh my god, good job, bro. Thank you, man. Like, why is it so loud? The next map we have is Packaging, an industrial center for packaging elite kits by Joji, or also known as Juge_97, and Vazi, also known as Vaz-E-Niz-Yil. And as it says, it's just a map where they make shock kits, which is an awesome concept, by the way. And that's just about it. It's just a map where there's a bunch of shock kits that you cannot use, which looks super cool. It looks super awesome. And well, yeah, that's really about it. I just really like this map because of the concept. And also, look at this room right here. Look at all these shocks waiting to be used. Yet, you cannot access it because there's a steel door right here. That is all the special maps that were added in hotfix patch version 1.9.1, but there are also its special map fixes, those being updated Salt House, bringing many improvements and fixes. Sanctuary's unanchored parts have been fixed. Salt House's airport has been adjusted to delete the stone floor below it. Heap now has a cache and is properly roadable. Timber can now be captured. Fix Timber's objective cache to actually work. Memoriam's conscript has been asked to leave the Dread statue. Pit now roads at the correct height. Chatter is now actually made of grass. Anchor Nova testing planes so they can spawn better. Large experimental change to Nova testing cars to see if disabling character fixes are viable to making those vehicles function. And reverted truck to older version. And that is all of version 1.9.1. Let's move on. The next map we have is Checkpoint, a massive open area with a giant center pit by another space computer. And I assume if you jump off, you die, which is very cool. And I must say, this map is truly a spectacle. And if it did load in correctly, if it was loaded a bit, it is a very sick map because, well, you'd be able to mine up here, obviously. But there's also another entry point down here on these sides, which is super cool to see how you can enter the map from below and above. That is super sick. That is super cool. Though I do think that this map is way too huge for it to be added into the main game. Though I really do like this map because, well, the giant pit, you fall, you die. And it just looks super sick, super awesome. But yeah, moving on. And the next map we have is Blacksmith, a forging facility for Rancer and Rancer accessories made by Mao Penguin, Royal Nation Rancer, Nefarious Cube, and Drapid. It is just a very cool map where it's just all Rancer stuff. Even has a throwback to the old Rancer shield. Elite ball knowledge required. I don't know what this is referenced to. Maybe the Royal Nation Rancer himself. I'm unsure. But there's just a bunch of cool Rancer stuff, like, you know, the little frags they have, the stims they create over here. There's also, I think, the metal they use and all of the drugs. Moving on, a bunch of darts that they'd use to probably practice with throwing axes, maybe so. It's just a bunch of cool resources and materials all in a singular compound. My only complaint is that there's this yellow light where you would think there's an Empire soldier inside, but no, it's a candle, which that's my only complaint. But other than that, though, it's a cool map and I do like it. But let's move on. The next map we have is Refuge, a narrow hideout with a mix of long and short range combat by another space computer. And I really don't know what happened, but I think as it was being ported, it just got butchered. And it's just like this. And although it does look cool, it does look great, it does have to fight with all of the other maps in the game. So although I do like it, I don't know if it's going to be added. And also, it's just in a state where I don't think they're able to repair it and then put it into the game before, you know, the great rupture of maps. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Anyway, let's keep going. Actually, we're gonna stop there because that's all the actual main special maps. We're going into the troll special maps. The first one being Garden by Rancer Fide. And, well, it's Grow Garden. That's, about it. I could probably see this added to the game for like the War Rise, because you know it's like a Solus garden, like greenhouse, and they have to, you know, make food underground and stuff, and just butcher me, bro. What? Huh? Also, I just can't enter the point because the entire thing is just a big wall, which I can't enter because it's, you know, the bedrock's here. Thanks, game. Funnily enough, you can click on this sign, but it does nothing. Maybe because I don't have enough metals, but maybe one day someone will get 375 metals and click on it. Good luck on that, though. The next point we have is Water by Nova. It's as said, it's water. That's the entire thing. It's just water. Yeah. Moving on. The next map we have is Mobile House, which the entire point is unanchored. I don't know what that means. Does it mean like we can move it? Because like I don't know if I can move it, I think, by myself. But yeah. Also, there is disassembly, but that's broken and it bugs the entire game. I tried, it didn't work. So yeah, moving on, I guess. The next map we have is City, which is a massive compound with a bunch of buildings and a bunch of space to fight by Aurelian Nomad. And well, it has a bunch of cars which I believe you can access. Oh, actually, maybe not, because there's no seats in here. Whatever. And there is even a train, which I believe you cannot access because there are no engineers on the team to access it. But overall, it is just a cool set piece, and it is very buggy because it will often overlap with other points. But you can force point node to other points so that, well, the other nodes can be, or compounds will be hella tiny, and it won't overlap with the actual main one. So yeah, it's cool, and I can definitely see a cool like game night or event happening on this point. Like imagine hide and seek or a hunter with this one Geist and a bunch of, well, conscripts trying to hide, yada yada, stuff like that. And yeah, anyway, moving on. Next up we have Brawl, which by setting points 1 and 3 to Brawl, they'll set up these 2 teleporters on each spawn, which, well, will send you on to your second point. Do note this only works on control, I believe, and make sure you have control randomization off. So yeah, and also a reminder, the point needs to have spawns, and some special maps don't have spawns, so they don't work and you don't get teleported. And you might be wondering, what about A and C? Well, they've been turned into lava death pits. Overall, this is just a good way to get straight into the action and or melee knife farms, which happen often in the Discord community server. So yeah, cool. Next up we have is Archipelago, and do note there is no music. For whatever reason, there's no ambience, so sorry if it's weird cry and you don't like my voice. Continuing on, this monster of a goddamn map is best approached with caution and experience rather than explained, as it is extremely laggy. Do note this is a port of a Zeppelin Wars map, as an unofficial test of a larger open battlefield-esque fight with the GD engine. So yeah, when this map is spawned into the third point, so force point 3, it is a push map. On any other one, like 1 or 2, it is a control map. Do not use any other game mode, otherwise I think it'll mess it up pretty badly. And also, this map is very likely to break a lot of core systems. Originally, it was by Audrey, Master 23, Kentopia, Pothole Disease, Skippy Dog, Starboy, 1Builder, 1-2, Ultron, B, Doggy with a Mustache, Is Sears There, Runasail, Recon Kill, DR11, Vaxi Pa, Idus _7, Iron Row 001. Major changes, plain scripting by Nova, additional help by Rancified, Rich E, Moneybags, Aurora Nomad, Bonk, or also known as Spoilcrest, and We're Programming. So yeah, that is a mouthful. We're gonna read Nova's notice, which says, "Hi. I put Archipelago together with full permission from its rightful owner. This map is originally from Zeppelin Wars, ported to work as a testing ground for more potential Battlefield maps. This map is not canon to what the surface looks like. So yeah, it's just a fictional piece of work. So keep that in mind. As you walk through, we'll be placed into, well, Empire and Nation have their own spawns, but there is this giant map. Like, Jesus, bro, this map is huge. It doesn't even load because of all the fog. Spawn's very cool. It's very nicely detailed. But obviously, the main thing about this map is, well, the planes, and I don't think there are What? I don't think there are any cars, but of course there are planes, and there is this cool flag right here, which is awesome. Something interesting to note is that you can mine all of these rocks. Not the dirt, but the rocks, which is super cool, as you can mine all the way up here, find a sniper point, and shoot down to, like, I don't know, C, or... But, like, where are the other objectives, bro? Just look how big this map is. I don't think I'll be able to show it all to you, unfortunately, because it's just so massive, bro. And also, this is center port, and I think you just capture it by going into here. But imagine walking all the way over from your spawn to this area. Like, jeez Louise, yo. There's a lot of cool landmarks on this map, which I'm not able to show you all. But for example, there's this bar right here, which doesn't have anything much, but it's just so cool to see a bunch of random buildings that aren't the compounds or the main focus of the map. As well, it's just cool to see what war would be like in an urban environment, which is just you'd hide in buildings and yada yada, all that stuff. It's just super cool. Weird. So I guess shot kits spawn across the map randomly, or maybe it's dedicated, I'm not too sure, but this one spawned here without a platform or a node of its own. How interesting. There are benefits of exploring, because I was able to find a plane spawner, matter of fact a neutral plane spawner near A, so that's interesting. So there's probably a lot of stuff around the map where you can find unique stuff. For example, a crane right here, or a crane spawner, because you click on this to spawn a crane, which is cool. It's just this random tree right here. It's probably references something that I absolutely don't know of because I haven't played Zeppelin Woods at all. I guess I'm a scrub, huh? Oh. Surprisingly, there are water. Oh, it's a giant waterfall. Whoa! What is this set piece, bro? This looks sick. What the heck? Despite there being no audio, this is very cool. There's a minecart shack here that goes inside? What? Biofuel organization. You wonder what this is reference to. Oh, well. Under the Crimson Bridge, a walkway. Find it. Huh? Here's a Crimson Bridge. Though I'm unsure what they mean by a walkway. Find it. Maybe you guys can figure it out if you are able to search for it yourself. Oh, Nation Base is super cool. What the heck? Unless it's just that decal, whatever that means. Oh, you can form ranks here. That's cool. This is a very cool base. Does it beat the nation? Or does it beat the empire though? Maybe. Of course it does have its unique nation trains. Let's go explore a little bit. That's just about all I could find in this map. It's large, it's huge, and I doubt anyone's gonna actually play the fishery besides, like, you know, the events and stuff, because the trains are the only way to actually get around quick, and God forbid you walk across like I've done before. It's just so tedious. But yeah, that's every single special map that's added in 1.1, and I almost forgot the special map changes, which we'll read over right now. Here are the special map fixes. Timber's Salt has been fully fixed and overhauled by Consumer and Siri Volk Senatena. Estate has received a large overhaul with better materials, water, and environmental textures. Charles has experimentally received these new materials as well. Trenches has been given a roof to encourage more trench warfare. Memoriam has been kept inside the special maps, now named Memoriam Original. Keep is now capturable. Hole's SpongeBob was killed, and Create Collision was fixed. Fixed stairs on canning with invisible crit brush. Chuck's physics core has been removed, hopefully returning to normal, and Nova's testing planes has got a designated spawners. And that is every single special map in version 1.1. And I know there's not many subtitles, I know there's not much editing, but that's every single special map in the game before it's going to be most likely deleted on the Great Special Map Rupturing on September 27th. So yeah, that is the end of the video. And, well, helmets save lives. And see you guys later. That was an interesting overview of the entire special map roster. Whoa. This is a cool, spectacle. And it's walked me. So all you see is just this. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, first one, the M1 spam wins. Oh, whoa. Yeah, you wanna play like that? We can do it. Oh, yep. That's it.
What's this?
What's this? What a cool place to fight, bro, but it takes 10 million years to walk over. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's inside. Oh, God. Oh, it's so weird seeing white writing in the Empire's spawn. The gun right there, right? Gun right there. Gun right there, and then gun right there. I don't see anything. I'll keep moving.
Wait, shine the. Wait, you could shine. Can I just hide behind this?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, maybe
if I get close, then I can. But if I'm not look at that.
The reflection on the window can actually block quite a bit.
And
there are 20 geists in this photo. Can you find them?